Let's move on to the group member specific segment. This is Jake's part where we're going to talk about a very specific concept. And Jake, tell us today what we're going to be talking about.
Well, we were discussing the fact that I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Right.
And that as a game brain, where do I find my outlet? How do I scratch that itch? Where do games manifest in my life right now where it's pretty much mostly not about me and what I like to do?
There are a lot of dads out there, I think, and a lot of moms and a lot of new parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Who are going, when do I get to game?
Yeah.
What do I do now? I have all these games, or I have all these dreams of playing games.
It's true. And, for Christmas, my beautiful wife got me the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Thinking like, you used to love video games.
Yeah.
Here, it's video games. I'm like, thank you. I'll never be able to play this. Thank you for this thing I love. That,
Your son will
when
like
is
it
this
one
gonna?
day.
Yeah, exactly. As an antique. But yeah, no, it's true. It's a component of my life that is muchly diminished, and it ekes out in all kinds of places. I satisfy myself game-wise in different ways.
So as many casual gamers do, I imagine, most of your gaming takes place on
My phone.
On your phone.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think most people play games on their phone these days.
Yeah, I mean, we can say it's games on our phone, but it really does feel like I'm holding my Game Boy sometimes. And I'm just that 12-year-old again who's like, why am I holding this Game Boy when I should be doing something else?
So take me through, what do you play on your phone? What over the last, since you had your kid,
Okay.
what games have taken up the most game brain real estate for you?
Well, I do the crossword every day, which is on my phone.
Is that the New York Times?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's an app for the New York Times crossword
It's
puzzle.
a great app if you enjoy doing the puzzle
Is that a
in
free
the
app?
paper.
You gotta pay for
no,
that?
but it's super cheap.
Okay.
It's like $12
Every
a
day
year or something.
Oh, okay. You got to pay subscription.
It's a subscription, but it's extremely reasonable.
And you get the same ones people are getting in the paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Will
exactly
Shortz?
the same. Yeah. And that's a love of mine, and it's not exactly a game, but it's the same kind of game brain thing happening.
Totally. You've always loved a crossword.
I've always loved the crossword. And then I would say Words with Friends is a huge ongoing thing.
Do you play with randos, or do you play with...
Both?
Okay.
Although I will say, not so many randos anymore. I have randos that turned into people I've been playing with for years.
Really?
That I have no idea who they are.
There was some amazing story about a teenager and an elderly woman who'd been playing Words with Friends together for years,
Yeah.
and then they finally went and met in person.
That's amazing.
And
Sometimes I'll
we're
think,
best friends.
who are these people that I'm literally interacting with them more than I do other
Do you
people.
talk like, hey?
No.
No chat.
If somebody hits a 100-point word, I might give them 3 claps in the little chat.
really?
But no, we're not like, hey, how are you? Who are you?
But do you sort of know their play styles?
Absolutely.
That's hilarious. Like, you know the words they know?
I know how aggressive they're going to play. I know how advanced they are. I know if I'm going to win. I know right away if I'm going to win.
Do you think you're a good Scrabble player at this point?
I think I'm a pretty medium to good Scrabble player. I think.
So you think
if
you
I
could
win-
beat your average Scrabble player?
I think I could hold my own against your average Scrabble player.
Interesting.
But I don't think I'd do very well at a
How many
tournament.
2-letter words do you know? Do you know all of them?
I think I might get all
Pretty
of
much
them.
know all the 2-letter words at this point?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Key, QI. That
Yeah,
always seemed like
there's
a
a-
cheat
there's
to
a
me.
lot-
There's a couple ones that you're like,
It's
okay.
a whole world.
I
It's a
guess
whole
that's-
world,
yeah.
and it's one that I could fall into. But I do it, not all day long. But I've
Right.
got games that are ongoing,
Right.
and it only takes a second to look and see and think, and that's a
So
quick.
crossword, Scrabble, any other
Crossword,
games
Scrabble.
that take up your time?
There's puzzle games I like. I do Sudoku sometimes.
Okay.
The number one, up and down, left and right.
So you're going sort of classic
I'm pretty
pen and
classic.
paper games almost.
Yeah, I'm. For me, it's about solving the puzzles.
You're not playing Hearthstone.
I'm
You're not playing.
I'm not playing like things that have.
You're not playing Fortnite on your phone.
No, absolutely not. I'll tell you. I'll look at my phone right now. I'll tell you what I love. I love a game called Bricks and Balls.
Okay.
Okay, it's super simple. There's
like
nothing to it.
Breakout.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of. You just. It's a math game. You're just angles. You know what it is? It's like the simplest form of playing pool.
Okay. Interesting.
You set the ball off and it ricochets, and you either did a good shot or you didn't. I like that Woody puzzle where you're laying just pieces down.
Okay.
It's almost like one of those IQ tests when you're really young
Okay,
of
okay.
assembling a box out of. I play solitaire sometimes if I'm feeling really brain dead.
Right.
That one's completely mindless.
That's beer and pretzels for you.
That's
your
my beer and pretzels is solitaire. Yeah. And then there was that game that I loved that was out last year. People were talking about it. 2048.
Yeah.
That one consumed me.
Really?
That one took over my life for 6 months.
Right.
And other things fell to the wayside. And that one I really focused in. There's something about it, the way that I used to love Tetris.
So
Like,
that's
Tetris
a
was one
grid
my
of
all-times.
numbers, and you're trying to do multiples.
It's a doubling game,
Right.
and it's about...
So 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes
Yeah,
6.
but it's also a positional puzzle because you're sliding up and down and left and right, and each move
There's a
affects
couple
the next
different
one.
versions of that.
Yeah,
but,
it's kind of like a number version of Go in a little bit.
Sure.
Which is a game that's
a strategy
It's a
game.
strategy game. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just you know, it becomes very intuitive. You start to find a zen moment where you're not even playing. You're just
So you,
thinking
you
about something
clearly
else.
have a drive to work that part of your brain.
Oh, absolutely.
And that part of your brain wants to,
Yeah.
it needs some exercise.
I think the place that I spend most of that energy on is my son, though, because that's a game also. As far as the game brain,
Right.
it's constantly trying to keep a little mind entertained. And
Yeah.
I do rely on a lot of things that you might be doing in a game,
Right.
you know, creating choices
Right.
and outcomes and scenarios and, you know, sometimes just playing like my favorite game, which is Dungeons and Dragons. It's just role play, really. And a kid's mind, that's what they want the most. So sometimes just playing with him, you know, I mean, he's only 4.5.
You're the
but,
dungeon
like,
master.
In a little way, I am. And we play games and it's just pure imagination. And it's very satisfying.
You are going to have to teach me all those tricks because my child is very young and not ready for
You'll like
games
them.
yet in that sense.
Yeah.
Any tips for dads or moms or new parents out there who want to find more time for gaming?
I would say the way it worked out for me was really good. Find a group of friends who play games and carve out a little time for yourself. One night a week
yeah.
is not crazy. I mean, okay, first year, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
As a parent. Everybody, if you've done that or if
And
you're
I
about to do
did
that,
not have a game night
That's right. There was a hiatus.
for the whole first year of my
Matt
child.
told the game group, like, I'm pregnant. We're like, oh, yay. Oh, because we knew he's out of the game for a while.
It was about 10 months that the
Yeah.
game night stopped.
Yeah, you were back amazingly quick, actually.
Yeah, well, it helped that I got an office.
It's true.
Because we play, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, we play games in my office.
It's true.
And my office is a couple
It's a
blocks
safe
from the
space.
house.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. We're recording
true.
in my office, and this is where we play all our games. So if I had to do it at the house
No,
with a
it'd be
sleeping
impossible.
baby,
It'd be
can't
impossible.
have 8 people over laughing and
And no one would expect
talking
you to.
loud.
Obviously, the baby comes first, but having the office and the space and, finding the time for yourself.
Well-
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing selfish about that. You know, some people maybe want to go and play poker.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person that wants to go play games, go do that.
And while not everybody will have access to an office to go play
That's
games
true.
after hours with,
That's true.
there is probably a board game store or a hobby shop near your house that will probably have a table that you can use one night a week.
Yeah, and also, I don't know what your game groups out there are like, or if they're like ours, but it doesn't have to be a rowdy thing either. You could just have
We often
a
have
lot
pretty
of fun.
quiet
yeah.
board game
Yeah, we're
nights.
actually a bunch of pretty thoughtful, you know, more quiet people. Things get loud sometimes, but you could play a lot of these games at home and not wake the baby.
Right.
You know,
So don't give up hope out there, casual gamers
Yeah.
who are wanting for time. It's all temporary. You
very
will get more
temporary.
time back soon.
they start wanting to play games with you.
And in the meantime, feed that game brain any way you can.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's found his way on his phone. Maybe yours is video games. Maybe yours is solo board games are a great option for parents out there. There are a lot of great solo board games. We'll do a solo board game episode.
That's
but
a cool idea.
Look it up. You can find them. And all you need when your kid goes to sleep, take it out, play by yourself. Maybe your partner walks by, goes, "What's that?" And maybe you got a new board game partner.
Take it out, play by yourself.
That's it.